On 14th October 2022, 23-year-old Sharon Raj of Thiruvananthapuram returned home with complaints of severe vomiting. Within the next 3 days, his condition got worse, with multiple instances of vomiting every day. Seeing the critical situation, he was rushed to the hospital, but even after changing 3 hospitals and getting diagnosed by multiple doctors, no one was able to figure out what was going wrong. On 25th October, that is 11 days since he first complained of vomiting, he passed away. Sharon was a young and healthy man without any history of severe ailments, which made his elder brother Shimon doubt of foul play. Thus, he filed an FIR with the police, who then started their investigation. This investigation uncovered such a mind-numbing murder plot that even the court declared it as one of the rarest of the rare cases. Plus, it is one of the few cases of modern India where the convict was given a death penalty. Now, without any delays, let's dive into the full case studies. I am Sam and you are watching Crime Stories by Sam. 1 year ago, October 2021. 23-year-old Sharon Raj of Thiruvananthapuram was travelling on a bus where he saw the young and beautiful Greeshma, who was travelling with him in the same bus. Sharon was awestruck by her beauty and felt as if it was love at first sight. He nervously approached her for a talk and was reciprocated warmly by Greeshma. Slowly, these little chit-chats on the bus turned into long meetings in coffee shops and parks, and in a matter of time, both were madly in love with each other. 23-year-old Sharon was a final year student of Bachelor's of Radiology from the Medical Mission Christian College, while 22-year-old Greeshma of Kanyakumari was pursuing Masters in English Literature. Sharon was head over heels in love with Greeshma and was already seeing himself spending his whole life with her. But just after 4 months in February 2022, circumstances became so grim that this perfect love story turned into a murder story. Basically, Sharon was unaware that Greeshma's parents had already fixed up her marriage with someone else. But the real shocker was that even after being in a relationship, Greeshma happily agreed to marry the man her parents chose for her. Maybe the fact that this other guy was an army man with a stable job made this marriage proposal even more enticing for Greeshma. By now it was clear that as opposed to Sharon's commitment for Greeshma, she considered Sharon as just a one-time fling. Sharon was just another option for her until she finds someone better. A month after, on 4th March 2022, Greeshma got engaged to the other guy and an expected marriage date was fixed for 2023. After learning about this engagement, Sharon broke up with Greeshma. Things would have been great if they stayed this way, but it was Greeshma who reignited the spark by promising to flee from her home and marry Sharon in the month of November. Sharon's biggest mistake was believing those words of Greeshma. As time passed by, the month of November came nearer. Sharon was getting impatient to marry Greeshma, but Greeshma was making all sorts of excuses to avoid the marriage. Out of all the excuses she made, the most prominent was Jataka Dos in her horoscope, due to which her first husband is deemed to die within a year of marriage. She expected that Sharon will get scared and will drop his plans to marry her. However, this excuse backfired on her. Sharon rejected all this as superstitious beliefs, and to prove his point, he immediately took Greeshma to Kerala's Vetukad church and married her. It was at this moment Greeshma realized that she got trapped in her own plan. But she wasn't the one to give up. She started acting like a happy married wife and even wore sindoor and Mangalsutra whenever Sharon was around. After getting married in the church, the couple checked into Kanyakumari's The Golden Castle Hotel, first on 13th August and again on 18th August, and there they consummated the marriage by making physical relations. Though it was only Sharon who was truly happy with all this. On the other hand, Greeshma was hiding some vile intentions behind her fake smile. And to fulfill these intentions, on 22nd August, that is 4 days after they got physical, she asked Sharon to meet her on Ernakulam's old Marthanda bridge. In the pretext of a fun activity, she brought 2 bottles of mango juice and challenged Sharon that whoever finishes their bottle first will be the winner. Little did Sharon knew that Greeshma had mixed 50 tablets of paracetamol in his bottle of juice. However, as soon as Sharon took a sip from the bottle, due to the harsh bitter taste, he immediately spat the juice out. Seeing this, Greeshma snatched the bottle from his hand and threw both the bottles away, pretending that her bottle too tasted as bad as his. She then brushed off the matter as a manufacturing defect. Basically, she assumed that the sweet taste of the juice will cover up the bitter taste of the tablets, but things did not go as planned. However, this did not change the intentions of Greeshma, and she started creating another plan to clear off Sharon. On the evening of 13th October, that is 22 days after the juice incident, both of them chatted for hours over WhatsApp. Then afterwards, at night at around 11 pm, she called him over phone and both of them again talked over for an hour. During this call, Greeshma enticed Sharon with sexual talks and informed him that on the next day she is going to be alone at home after 10 in the morning. She asked him to come over and also promised to get physical with him. The next day, Greeshma was continuously texting and calling Sharon to make sure that he does not change his plan. At morning 10:15 am, he reached Greeshma's home on a motorcycle with his friend Regine. Regine parked the motorcycle and waited outside, while Sharon, unaware of the deadly trap that Greeshma laid for him, went inside the house. Initially, Greeshma started talking about random stuff. Then out of nowhere, she challenged Sharon to drink a glass of kashayam. Kashayam, also known as kadha, is a herbal drink that generally has a bitter taste and is used to treat various health issues. Greeshma too had some underlying health issues, due to which doctor prescribed her to drink kashayam, a practice that Sharon used to make fun of. Now, Sharon accepted her challenge and Greeshma playfully gave him a glass of kashayam that she prepared beforehand. But along with medicinal herbs, she had put a deadly poison in it. Due to the bitter taste, Sharon finished the kashayam in one go, after which Greeshma gave him a pack of mango juice to subdue the bitter taste. But as soon as he drank the juice, the poison started showing its effects. First he vomited in Greeshma's toilet, then again on the road just outside her home. Seeing Sharon's condition, his friend Regine quickly started the bike and both of them left for his home. Sharon's condition was worsening rapidly and he stopped the bike multiple times due to vomiting. Regine noticed that Sharon was vomiting a greenish colored fluid. When he inquired about it to Sharon, he said that he had kashayam and mango juice back to back, which might have caused a reaction and will soon get settled by itself. Next, what Greeshma did might be considered the peak of cruelty. When Sharon left Greeshma's home, she immediately started texting him, convincing him that the vomiting is normal, and she too went through all this when she had kashayam for the first time. On top of that, she repeatedly said sorry to Sharon and was acting innocent by cursing herself for what has happened. She even tried to video call him, but Sharon was in no condition to attend it. Her intention behind all this was to create an innocent image of her, so that nobody doubts her. And in fact, this trick worked really well, as after some time, even Sharon was convincing her by telling her that it is none of her fault, and he'll get well soon. To make the matter worse, she continuously told him that it was the mango juice that is causing all this, and not the actual kashayam. All this to make Sharon take the situation lightly and delay the treatment, which will in turn increase the chances of his death. In the same evening, Sharon was repeatedly asking Greeshma the name of the kashayam, but she just ignored it and continued her acting of being worried. Late in the evening, Sharon was admitted to a local hospital. The whole night Sharon was vomiting continuously. Next day on 15th October, Sharon texted Greeshma in the morning, accusing that all this has happened due to her kashayam challenge. Replying to which, Greeshma repeated her earlier words that it was the mango juice that caused all this and not the kashayam. In the afternoon, Sharon texted that he is having a severe throat pain, due to which he is neither able to talk nor drink a single drop of water. He also stated that he is very sick and from now on he won't be able to talk or attend calls. 2 days later, on 17th August, Sharon sent the last text to Greeshma, stating that he have been shifted to a medical college hospital. After this, he did not reply to any of her further messages. Later in the evening, his condition became critical, after which doctors admitted him to the ICU and started his dialysis. Sharon's elder brother Shimon, who was an Ayurvedic doctor, could not believe that a mere kashayam could do this to someone. Therefore, he called Sharon's friend Regine, with whom he went to Greeshma's house. Regin explained everything to him, from Sharon's relationship with Greeshma to the start of vomiting after drinking kasayam at her house. Simon quickly sensed the foul play by Greeshma and briefed about this to the doctor, who in turn informed the local police. 2 days later, on 20th October, a judicial first-class magistrate arrived to take the statement of Sharon, which ultimately became his dying declaration. With a broken voice, he briefed about the incidents of that day, from Greeshma's kasayam challenge to severe vomiting. But when he was asked about any possible suspects, he did not name any. On 22nd October, that is 2 days after registering his statement, Sharon's father got the permission to meet him in the ICU. In a broken voice, Sharon told his father that he won't live for very long. He explained him about how he married Greeshma and has physical relations with her. Along with that, he also explained how Greeshma asked him to come over to her home in pretext of getting physical with him, but instead did a kasayam challenge, after which he fell sick. His father told all this to his brother Shimon, after which he immediately called Greeshma and asked about the details of the kashayam, to which she replied that it was prescribed by a doctor from Calicut. Then he requested her to at least provide the name of the kashayam or a photo of the bottle or even photo of doctor's prescription, to which she replied that she has forgotten the name of the kashayam and the bottle has already been cleaned by her mother, thus the label have been removed and the doctor didn't provide any written prescription. As a last resort, Simon requested her to at least send him a downloaded photo of that kasayam from the internet, following which she downloaded a random photo and sent it to him. It was very clear that Greeshma wanted Sharon to die at any cost. On the other side, Sharon's liver and kidney had started to fail, and in the next 72 hours, his pulse and breathing dropped to critical levels. Doctors tried everything they could, but on the evening of 25th October, that is 11 days after the kasayam challenge, Sharon passed away. Next day, on 26th October, Shimon filed an FIR at Parasala police station. Sharon's body too was sent for postmortem. On 31st October, that is 5 days after the FIR, police summoned Greeshma for questioning, and as expected, she again gave a false narrative. As per her statement, when she told her fiancé about her and Sharon's relationship, he agreed to break up the engagement peacefully from his side. But in the meantime, Sharon came over to her home and saw the engagement photos and got furious. In a fit of rage, he started beating her. After a lot of efforts, she calmed him down. But as soon as she went to the washroom to freshen up, he drank the glass of medicine kept on the table that she prepared for her mother. All this implies that it was Sharon who himself drank the medicine, and thus Greeshma was innocent. To prove her innocence, she did a fake act of drinking toilet cleaner inside the police station, after which she was rushed to the hospital. But as it was just acting, she was immediately declared healthy and was discharged. Seeing all this, police quickly figured out that she lied in her statements. Therefore, they showed her all her WhatsApp chats, text messages, call recordings and internet search history, after which she finally confessed her crime. After her confession, police first arrested Greeshma, then her uncle and finally her mother. Her uncle Nirmal Nair was arrested for destroying evidences, while her mother was arrested on the complaint of Sharon's father, who accused her that due to the Jataka dos in Greeshma's horoscope, there were chances of death of her first husband, and to clear off this chance, she strategically married Greeshma to Sharon, so that after Sharon's death, she could marry off Greeshma to a more affluent man. Now it was time for police to collect some strong evidences, as by her nature, it was very likely that Greeshma would change her statements in the court. Therefore, police first recovered all her deleted WhatsApp chats, which proved that on 13th October, that is the day before Kasayam challenge, Greeshma lured Sharon by promising to get physical with him. Next day, with the help of Chrome's search history, it was proved that on 22nd August, that is on the day of juice challenge, she deliberately mixed paracetamol tablets in Sharon's juice bottle, as the search results showed that she searched 23 times about the toxicity of paracetamol overdose. And the last evidence was Sharon's postmortem report, which said that he was given a corrosive poison that caused severe damage to his internal organs. It is also stated that such type of corrosion is generally caused by herbicides. Herbicides are chemicals that are used by farmers to kill grass, weed and other invasive plants. Greeshma's uncle Nirmal Nair is also a farmer and used such herbicides in his farm, and he often kept his supplies in the same house where Greeshma gave the kasayam to Sharon. In fact, the brand of herbicide that Greeshma used is so deadly that it has been banned in Kerala, and most of the farmers from Kerala travel to the state border and buy it from shops in Tamil Nadu. Greeshma extensively searched about the chemical composition of the herbicide and its effects on human body. Basically, within an hour of entering the body, it starts corroding the kidneys and the livers, and 90% of the chemical is flushed out of the body in just 24 hours. So if it remains medically undetected within the first 24 hours, it becomes almost impossible to detect it afterwards. This was the exact reason Greeshma was trying to delay Sharon's treatment by convincing him that whatever was happening to him was normal for a first-time kasayam drinker. Police also recovered the herbicide bottle which Greeshma initially threw in a nearby rubber plantation after removing its label, and later his uncle Nirmal Nair relocated it from the rubber plantation to a distant pineapple plantation. After all the evidences were collected, police moved to the court. But the thing was, all the evidences police had were circumstantial, like WhatsApp chats, call recordings, phone location, etc. Combine this with the lack of eyewitness to the crime, it was very easy for Greeshma to back out in the court. And in fact, she did exactly that. Her lawyers put forward multiple fake statements. They said Sharon was blackmailing Greeshma in pretext of leaking her private photos that he clicked during their lovemaking sessions. Plus, he used to physically abuse her whenever she stated her desire to get separated. Also, they pointed out that in the dying declaration that Sharon gave in the hospital in front of the magistrate, he never mentioned Greeshma as a probable suspect. The defense fell to extreme lows and even pitched that it was a justified murder. However, their wall of lies got crushed when the WhatsApp chats and call recordings could not provide a single sign of blackmailing. Between all this, Kerala High Court did something that made it a laughing stock among news media. After 111 days of being in judicial custody, Kerala High Court granted bail to Greeshma on the basis that she was too young and was also being very cooperative in the investigation. But at last, justice was served by Kerala's Naithinkara Additional Session Court. After reviewing over 95 witnesses, 323 documents and 51 physical evidences, the court said that Greeshma had a clear motive for killing Sharon. Her marriage was already fixed with another man, and thus she wanted to remove Sharon from her life so that in future no one gets to know about her and Sharon's affair. The court also said that this case is one of the rarest of the rare case. Here a man was killed by someone whom he loved and trusted unconditionally, so much that even on his deathbed he did not doubt her intentions. And in return he got a cruel and torturous death, where before his death for 11 whole days he neither could drink a drop of water nor eat a single grain of food. The court considered this as an attack on the core values of the society. Greeshma, as a last resort, requested the court that she is only 24 years old and doesn't even have a criminal record. Therefore, the court should be gentle on her. However, the court said that Greeshma is a cunning and cruel person who, if situation arises, will not hesitate to repeat such a crime. And a criminal mind like her can never be improved. And for the matter of young age, the court said that the same applies to the victim too. Therefore, it is not a ground to be gentle for her. Finally, on 20th January 2025, that is approximately 3.5 years after Sharon's death, the court declared death penalty for Greeshma. Her uncle Nirmal Nair was given a 3-year prison sentence for destroying evidences, and for her mother, she was cleared all of her charges as she had no direct involvement in the murder. One of the shocking revelations that happened during the court proceedings was that Greeshma confessed that in a span of just 1.5 months, that is between 22nd August, the date of the juice challenge, and 14th October, the date of the Kasayam challenge, she did a total of 10 attempts to kill Sharon. On the other hand, it was also revealed that Greeshma had affairs with 4 other men before Sharon. As per the latest reports, Greeshma is currently in the prison and is planning to appeal in the Supreme Court to renounce her death penalty. Although this case is considered rarest of the rare, but in current times, it is not so rare for people to have cunning and evil intentions behind a soft smile. All relationships run on emotions, but we need to be vigilant whether the person is genuine or just showing emotions to manipulate us into a trap. It is difficult, but it is what is needed. So this was all about Sharon and Greeshma's love cum murder case. Hope this video helps you in keeping you and your loved ones safe. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.